Do you know pronouns are the words used to replace nouns in sentences? So pronouns are used to replace nouns because whenever we use nouns in statements continuously, it becomes like repetition. To avoid repetition, we use pronouns. That's why the statement says it is used instead of noun. It replaces the noun and does the job of noun. But there is a funny thing. Few personal pronouns like I, we, and you, they are not replacement to anything. Can you replace them with something?
No.
I, we, you. These three cannot be replaced.
No.
So the third persons, only third persons can be replaced. First and second person won't be replaced. So water pronouns, as I said, they replace the nouns and they create smoother sentences. Let's understand it in detail. How they work. See, here statement is that John went to store. John bought groceries. We can see John twice here in two sentences. So instead of using John for the second time, we can use the word he. John is male, so we use the word he. John went to store and he bought groceries. So that's how pronouns come to work. The types of pronouns, there are many, but here I have listed only few. That is personal pronoun and interrogative pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, possessive pronoun, and reflexive pronoun. When we go into details, we will be able to understand them one by one. When I explain them, I will give examples and teach. But now I think this is enough for us to keep them in mind so that there are types of pronouns. There are many, not only these are only five I mentioned, but there are more than five. There are nearly eight, some even count 10. It depends on how you categorize them.
Okay.
Okay. So
Hmm.
actually the functions of pronoun, they function as subjects and objects. So when they are used as subjects, we can see here, it is a personal pronoun. I study grammar. They went home. And when they're used as object, they are in the receiving end. Give her the book. Give whom, give her. So this is the direct object, but her also used in the place of object. The teacher called us. Here it is in the place of object. There is also third type, that is possessive pronouns. They that show ownership. That computer is mine, but the decision is yours. So what about if I say this is my computer? If I say this is my computer, what is my here? My is adjective here.
Oh,
My
okay.
computer. So
Okay.
adjective of possessiveness. So possessive adjective.
Okay.
Whose computer? My computer.
No.
Very
But
tricky, but
mine is pronoun, no?
mine is pronoun. My is
Okay.
adjective.
Okay. Okay.
So for down we have here the decision is yours. So if you use
Mm-hmm.
yes here, this is pronoun. If you use
Mm-hmm.
your, then it is adjective.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Pronoun antecedent agreement. Actually, what the pronoun does, when we use the pronoun, we should be careful. Uh, to which word we are actually replacing the pronoun. That we should be careful. Then match the number. So we should match the number of the noun. If it is singular, we should use singular pronoun. If it is plural, we should use plural pronoun. Match gender. Yes, if it is he, she, or it, we should take care of the gender.
Mm.
Okay. And the clarity should be there because if you take care of all these things, then the pronoun will not be misunderstood. For example, if I say, um, he should buy his book. He should buy his book. It is very clear because he is there and here he is there. So
Mm.
he is pronoun. Here his adjective. He should buy his book.
Adjective.
So both are matching with each other. There is
Mm.
no problem now with number or gender. But if I say one should buy his book. So here his is adjective, but it is confusing. You know this confusion?
Yeah, that one should is not denoting a particular person, right?
Yes, one should buy his
Okay.
book. So his book means what? It may relate to one person or somebody else who is selling the book. So it is
Mm.
not clear, it is ambiguous. So when we use
Mm.
pronouns, we should make sure that sentence should be clear. And I will show why that ambiguity comes in pronouns. Here I'm using even adjectives, but
Mm.
when we go to adjectives also we'll find same difficulties. The problems in pronouns we usually place them like unclear references. See here, John and Bill argued until he left. So who here he? We don't know whether
Yeah.
John or Bill or third person, any person,
Mm.
third party. So we don't know who left. So this is not clear. Everyone
Mm.
is meant to be singular. Here one more word is there. Everyone should bring their book. Their refers to plural. So how there is a disagreement with number? If everyone, earlier people used to use the word he,
Okay.
and some people, the people those who are gender specific, they would also argue why he, why not she. So they would use he or she instead of using he or she. Then they came up with their. So now there means either he or she. To avoid the ambiguity of gender, they use there. But actually, it doesn't match with a number. Everyone refers to singular, and they refers to plural. But because of disagreements in the society, people started to use there as a normal usage. Next comes
Yeah.
case errors. Yes, any confusion?
No. Like, it's a very common sentence is used in classes, right? Everyone should bring their books.
Hmm.
So it is actually a error still now, but
Yes,
it is accepted one.
it is accepted error because everyone should bring
Okay.
his book or her own book. So their book means
Mm.
what? It is referring to everybody, irrespective of
Mm.
gender,
Okay. Okay.
because everyone usually doesn't go with their,
Mm.
but now it is
Got it.
accepted. Case errors between you and I. Instead of saying between you and I, we should use the word me, between you and me. But these days, even people use between you and I. It is actually dependent on the circumstance and people where they use it. Because nowadays, hardly people follow grammar rules because they only feel if the meaning is conveyed, if things are okay, then it's fine. But when you go really with the grammatical expertise, you should be very careful whether you should use you and me or you and I. And yeah, that's the problem with today's situation.
So this is also accepted error, but the right way to pronounce is between you
You
and
and
me.
me is the right one. And sometimes it also matters you and I because if you're using as subject,
Mm.
then you and I, because that is going to be active. So you have to use I. You got it. Me is in the receiving end.
Okay.
Give me book. So me is an object there.
Mm.
Okay. And that is circumstantial as well as the situational. But you should be very careful where to use you and you and me. Earlier,
Mm.
it was like you and me. But after people
Okay.
started debating about the grammar, how can you use me? Because it's not object. If it is subject, you have to use I. There are a
Yeah.
lot many disagreements, and people would argue this way, that side. So it depends on clever usage. Such, some people may also teach in this way, some people also may teach in the other way. But if a person is able to understand where to use you and I and where to use you and me, then that person will
Mm.
be able to make use of the grammar in the right manner. So practicing pronoun usage. This is for the practice. Identify the pronouns uh, and replace the pronouns. Sorry, replace the nouns with pronouns. Then create, write using sentences with pronouns. Then correct, fix errors in the pronouns. Usually in the grammar section where we teach to students in the college or schools, we actually give this kind of errors in the paper and we try to teach them the correct usage.
Okay.
But when it comes to real life usage, people use anything. And that's why, you know, when internet has taken over and people debate over things, hardly people follow right grammar. Many will follow whatever comes to their mind and whatever suits them, they use it. Let's study today personal pronouns. Today, let's study personal pronouns and reflexive, two types of study. So, personal pronouns I, you, he, she, it, we, they. This we and they are plural. And you can also be singular and plural. It is both. When it comes to I, he, she, it, they are singular. You also is singular, but you can be used in both. And when they are used as objects, then we have me, you, him, her, it, us, them. Possessive pronouns, mine,
Yours.
yours, his, hers, its, ours, theirs. Make sure there is no apostrophe.
Okay.
Okay. So
Mm.
whenever you use apostrophe, it
Mm.
is, for example, here the word is that it's. It's means
Mm.
it is possessive pronoun. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But if you use it like
Yeah. Apostrophe. Yes. Okay.
that means it
Oh,
is,
plural. Plural.
it is. No, it is not
Oh,
plural.
okay.
Apostrophe yes
No,
means
that's fine. Yeah, I got
it
confused.
is.
Like if you
It's going to tenses.
okay.
It is
Correct.
going to tenses. It is. So,
Fine.
you know what is the meaning of apostrophe here?
Meaning of a first rupee means?
This is actually used in place of where we actually vomit a letter, there we use apostrophe. So we are actually vomiting here I. That's why you're
Okay.
using its. Apostrophe is also used in place of omission of letters. For
Okay, got
example,
it.
you can also use like they are.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Same. Because we are pronouncing that A sound, so they are. That's it.
Mhm.
Okay.
When it comes to reflexive pronoun, here we have the words like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. So these are the examples in reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun actually refer back to the same person and they also act as object. For example, she taught herself to play the piano. She taught whom? She taught herself. So herself is acting like object here. I made the cake myself. So here it is referring to I. They prepared the presentation by themselves. By whom? By themselves. So it refers to they. He looked at himself. He looked at whom? Himself in the mirror. So this is reflexive pronoun. But there is one more pronoun that is emphatic, which I'll teach in the next session. Emphatic pronouns also say as the same words. Same words will come, but they're placed in different place. For example, I made the cake myself, sir. If I use a sentence like, I myself made the cake. The statement is same, but only I put the myself in this place.
Okay.
So what it says, I myself made the cake. So it is emphasizing on the doer, I. This is called emphatic pronoun. If this is placed here, this is reflexive. But if it's placed soon after the pronoun, it is emphasizing on the pronoun. That's why it is called emphatic pronoun. Most probably, uh, these reflexive pronouns sometimes required, sometimes without them you can do the sentences. But when it comes to emphatic pronoun, you don't actually require them. But to emphasize,
Yeah.
to give the importance, you're using them. That's why it's called emphatic pronoun. But we should be careful where they're emphatic, where they're not. And if we can understand the difference between emphatic and reflexive, then we understand both of them. And that's enough for today. Any confusions?
Mm. Modesty.
Okay.